spaghetti, penne, fusilli, lasagna, bow ties, shells. Italy has over 350 different pasta shapes. That's not a typo. 350. Some look like ribbons, some like tiny hats, some like something your kid squeezed out of a Play-Doh machine. And if you've ever stood in the pasta aisle wondering, do these actually do anything different? You're not alone. Today we're asking, why are there so many pasta shapes? Is this culinary evolution? Or is Italy literally just showing off? First, let's clear up a myth. Marco Polo did not bring pasta from China. That's culinary fan fiction. Pasta, or at least something very close, existed in the Mediterranean long before Marco went on his noodle tour. Early references show up in Sicily as far back as the 1100s, possibly introduced by Arab traders. And from there, Italians started drying, shaping, and selling pasta like it was their national craft, because it kind of was. But back then, shapes were practical. Long pasta dried better. Short pasta was easier to store. No frills, just food. Yet somewhere along the way, food kind of turned into art. Now this is where the shape obsession starts to make sense. Because pasta doesn't just sit on a plate, it interacts with sauce. The ridges on rigatoni, they trap meat sauce like edible gutters. Spirals like fusilli, perfect for clinging to creamy or oily sauces. Shells are like tiny cups. Farfalle's pinched center holds texture. Even spaghetti, smooth and long, works great for simple oil or tomato-based sauces, but not so much for thick, chunky ragu. Different shapes give you different mouthfeels, different flavor distribution, and different sauce delivery systems. It's basically sauce engineering. And yes, I'm sure someone out there has a PhD in this. To understand the shape explosion, you need to understand Italy. In Italy, despite what your travel brochure says, is not just Italy. It's dozens of fiercely independent regions, each with its own dialect, culture, and yes, pasta. Liguria has trofie. Puglia makes orecchiette, little ears. Veneto uses thick, chewy bigoli. Sicily, they've got bucciate, which looks like a telephone cord made of dough. Why? Because they used what they had. Local flour, local water, local tools. Even the way you rolled it might be passed down from your great-great-grandmother who used the same broom handle. Pasta wasn't just dinner, it was identity. Which is why, even today, if you suggest putting bolognese on spaghetti instead of tagliatelle, you might get slapped with a wooden spoon. Then came machines. By the 1800s, pasta factories could extrude shapes faster and fancier than ever before. And when pasta hit America, it got weird fast. Wagon wheels, alphabets, dinosaurs. Pasta shapes weren't just about sauce anymore. They were about branding. A new shape meant a new product line. A new box, a new shelf space, a new marketing angle. Kid-friendly shapes exploded during the mid-century food boom. Suddenly, the pasta aisle was less about tradition and more about imagination. So if you ever wondered why elbows became the default in macaroni and cheese, you can thank a focus group from 1962. Ever find yourself wondering why rotini exists? Yeah, same here. If you like this kind of deep dive into things you never thought to question, go ahead and hit subscribe. We post every other week, and we always serve it al dente. Here's what we mean. From a technical standpoint, shape absolutely matters. A thick, chunky bolognese, it slides right off spaghetti, but clings beautifully to rigatoni. Pesto gets lost in flat shapes, but hugs the twists of trofie like it was born for them. There's even been research showing how shape affects the surface area to volume ratio, how much sauce each bite carries, and how evenly it cooks. So if you're aiming for peak performance, yes, pairing shape to sauce makes a difference. But here's the no part. In practice, most people are just boiling what's in the cabinet. You can absolutely eat marinara with farfalle or Alfredo with elbows. No one's calling the carb police. And in some parts of the world, especially outside Italy, pasta shape is more about availability than culinary science. So yes, shape matters, but only as much as you care. At the end of the day, the best pasta is the one that gets sauce in your mouth. You'd think that after 350 plus shapes, we'd be done, but pasta is still evolving. In 2021, a scientist chef team from MIT and Carnegie Mellon introduced a new kind of pasta that actually ships flat and transforms into curls, spirals, and tubes when it hits boiling water. Why? To save space during shipping, cut down on packaging waste, and make pasta more eco-friendly. Food engineers are experimenting with 3D printed pasta, shapes that would be impossible to make with traditional dyes. Others are creating functional pasta, noodles that cook faster, absorb sauce better, or hold their shape longer in frozen meals. And then there's the growing world of gluten-free, high-protein, low-carb pasta, designed for specific diets, but still engineered for taste and texture. We've even seen pasta designed to float better in soup. Yes, float optimization is the next big thing. So while pasta may feel ancient, it's not stuck in the past. It's a playground for scientists, designers, and chefs alike. Even after 1,000 years, we're still dreaming up new ways to noodle. So, why are there so many pasta shapes? Because they carry sauce differently. Because every region in Italy wanted its own edible signature. Because once machines took over, the shape became a sales pitch. And because somewhere out there, someone decided that yes, what this world really needs is a noodle shaped like a mini cartwheel. And honestly, they weren't wrong. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this stroll through history, give us a like and subscribe for more curiosity-driven videos every other week.